Salman, guys. As I've been watching a lot of James Saxton, I think that's his name. He's a divorce attorney from the States. And I've been watching him on different platforms. I watched him on Ulex. I watched him from the Soft White Underbelly. I've watched him in different spaces. And as he, like, a lot of the things that he speaks about is things that I've thought. And I just didn't know how to articulate it. Um, Having been in different relationships, having been in different spaces, as guys, we have no idea, none whatsoever, about getting into long-term serious relationships. Um, One thing I've seen, with whether it's on TV, whether it's in society, one thing I've seen is that it's almost like all sisbetu are prepared, or they are taught rather about umshado. They understand marriage a lot better than what we understand. They understand parenting a lot better than what we understand. Is that maybe due to the fact that we've got a very, very, very high percentage of single mothers? And if I'm a mother, I understand the world through the lens of a female. And if I have daughters, I will then teach them through that lens. And it's very, very difficult if I've only seen the lens of a female to teach a young boy how he needs to go. Um, Maybe that's the case, but yes, as guys, we have no idea. As a machita, the lucky few that manage to live forever after, but for the majority of us, yes, says guys, kuyanyiwa la ngaphandle. Um, so let me just spit from my little experience. So Amachita, if you disagree or if you have something to add, um, just hear me out. So this is what guys don't understand. And I've seen it firsthand. I've seen it from my friends. I've seen it from my peers. This is what guys don't understand. Your boyfriend, your husband, and your the father of the kids. That's normally the same person. You know, guys are guys are guys are guys are guys. Tina, as the machita we were watching. I'm a Pokemon stuff from the primary. I'm a Pokemon in high school. Amachita were playing amateurs. Like guys don't outgrow certain things. I know what I've been watching The Simpsons and Family Guy and whatever for years, from when I was a student to now. That doesn't change. So gents tend to be very consistent. Whether they're playing touch, whether they're playing soccer, it's what we did in primary. We do it now in our grown age. Our sisters tend to be different, and they tend to change in the different chapters of their lives. So as an example, a lady who is your girlfriend is not the same person when she is your fiance. She doesn't walk the same, she doesn't talk the same, she doesn't move the same. So as your girlfriend, you've heard sisters say, Uguti, why am I doing wife duty when I'm girlfriend? Where you never hear guys, why am I doing husband duty when I'm your boyfriend? You never hear that. Guys will always do the best that they can with what they have. If he loves you, he'll do the best that he can with what he has. Usisbe too, she'll do the absolute best that she can with what she has at the girlfriend level. And it's capped. Because that's how she's thinking. She's thinking as a girlfriend, and that comes with certain things. Once wamlobola lo sis, wayomcela kubo. Yabo suceliwe ke manje. Now she's engaged. She becomes something else. That's when she starts calling you by your surname. Yeah, mlotshwa. Yabona usiyazotha. Uyashintsha. Angazi, because she's now someone else. And I've seen it again. So if you look at Osis, they don't move the same way as your girlfriend. And then there's the next step. And Usu Shati, now she's no longer Miss Banma, now she's Mrs. Your surname. Got the ring. Everything, whenever she drinks with her left hand. Hey guys, hi. Hi guys. No, or maybe that's the fiance level. Yeah. I think that's fiance rather than the marriage. But or Sisbe to then change once she becomes married and she moves differently. The food that she cooks is no longer the same as it was girlfriend. And you can deny this all you want. You just need to study 20 relationships over a span, and you'll realize, oh snap, she changes as the role changes. This is where we get screwed as guys, because we have no idea what's about to happen. She then goes from being your wife and goes to becoming a mother. I wanna Machita, let me tell you something. I wanna what happens with women, very much different to men. Because men, the woman tends to still be priority number one. Once she becomes a mother, brother, you're no longer priority number one. You take a back seat to this person that's in her life now, this little baby. Rightfully so, no one's fighting. But as guys, we're not ready for that. So you're in a relationship for 10 years, as an example, 5 years, whatever you want to say. And she's made you priority number one. Girlfriend, you're still priority number one. Yeah, she shared you with her friends every now and again, but you're priority number one. You became fiance, you became even more priority number one. You guys got married, it was you. Priority number one. You, your family. You, your family. The moment she has a child, she then prioritizes everything around the child and becomes almost like a 90-10 split. You know, and as guys who's always been made a fuss over, that is tough, because it feels like you're an afterthought, you know, whereas before all these years you were number one. Let's say she has a second child, because now they are a family now. They're a family and you the plus one. So it's the three of them, you know, they dress the way they dress, what they eat, you know. She's cooking based on their diet, not your diet. You might get that once a week, maybe if you're like a oak, but outside of that, she's cooking based on their diet. You know, what you'll take to work as your lunchbox is based on what they're taking to work, to school, you know. So it's very much tailored to them, and they watch the shows together, they own the couch, they own the bed, they own every single space, and when you have to adjust. And this takes a lot of humility, because you've never been taught that, especially again coming from people that were raised in single parent households. It's a mind fuck. You're like, what? You know, my mom made me her priority number one, and then you made me priority number one, and all of a sudden I'm like, backseat, what's that about? And that starts really fucking a lot of guys up mentally, and the devil for a lot of guys then starts creeping in, you know. Maybe he had sissy here and there, but he was never really invested until such time where he's no longer priority number 1, 2, or maybe even 3, and he's priority number 4. And all of a sudden, sissy comes through and makes you that priority again, you know. And it's such a crazy thing when you have been priority number 2 or priority number 3 or priority number 4, and all of a sudden here comes some Prudence vibe and makes you priority number 1, and you miss that, because you are priority number 1 to your mother and you're priority number 1 to your sissy until the kids came. And again, of course, as we understand, kids need to be your priority number 1. We get it. We 100%, I agree with it. But the reality is something happens to this guy, because again, now you lose yourself. Now you lose that before you became a mother, you were a wife. Before you were a wife, you were a fiance. Before you were a fiance, you were a girlfriend to this guy, you know. So we tend to overlook that, and now subconsciously he's going out there busy barking up any tree that's willing to give him a little bit of attention. And guys will deny this until such time they find themselves in that space and they go, oh shit, I'm not talking to Mchita who's been dating for 6 months. You wouldn't really understand what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Amachita who have been in long-term committed relationships, and now there's children. You will realize, Guti, the amount of attention she gave you before is not the same. And unfortunately, yes, you don't give her as much attention as you used to, but you still give her a lot, and she's still your number 1 priority. If you guys are still within a loving relationship, is what I'm saying. So again, going back to James Sexton, the divorce attorney, this starts then creeping in, and all of a sudden your patterns start changing. All of a sudden you no longer give her that priority 1 status that she's always had, and then she becomes priority number 2 because you focused on Lucy on the side, you know. And all of a sudden those dynamics and those variables, and there's a bit of a friction, you know, that tends to happen. And it happens slowly over time. And by the time you look up, you guys are on 2 separate planes, and it's her and the kids have her own family, and you just floating around somewhere, you know. Prudence, are you there somewhere, you know. But it's just been interesting just thinking about that, and how we can try and assist, educate our brothers. Look, this is coming. And also just to assist our sisters in saying, hey, you know, like, this is your mans, you know, so don't lose that. Yes, the kids are important. Yes, this is your mans. If there was nice things that you used to do, you know, wake him up with a bit of coffee and a bit of a tickle him, you know, bedroom gymnastics, maybe don't stop that, you know. Try and find a way to work around that, but make that a priority, because that's been a cornerstone of his intimacy with you, you know. And the moment he loses it, because all of a sudden there's another ntanga who now sucks on the titty, you know, it hits that subconscious different. He understands it, but again, the primitive mind of the man, you know, moves in a certain direction. So it's just a little thought. I don't know if this is called a rant, but just I'm trying to put my thoughts on video. I did say that this is my vlog after all, but I'd really love for us to chew at this bit. Add your comments where you feel appropriate, where you feel you disagree with me, where you agree with me. Ukuthi ngempela guys, as men, we haven't been taught how sisters transition, and many times we struggle to transition with them, because mina, how I was 10 years ago, nginje, you know, maybe I might have a little bit more resource, I might have a little bit of this, but nginje, you know, things that I liked 10 years ago I like now. You know, I still drink my brandy, I still drink my Black Label. Yafana, yafana. Whereas OCC tend to shift with the stages as they grow. You know, girlfriend, she's like this, or you're not going to get wife duties. And when she's wife, she tries to fit that mold, and then maybe that's how they be prepared. As mothers, she becomes a mother like so. When you're the same thing, whether you have a dad of 5 kids, whether you're a boyfriend of 6 months, you're the same guy. You just do the best that you can. You go, you know. So let's have this chat. Let's have this discussion. Let's unpack. And then I want to try and see if I can make a part 2 based on the comments that I'm being fed here. But anyway, guys, please like, share, comment, share, subscribe, share, and let's grow the community. Kansanda, guys, have a fantastic day.